Hey, it's Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. All right, we got some light in here. We're broadcasting on YouTube. Let's rock and roll. Welcome to 5 Steps to Hear Yes More Often. All right. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm shooting for 20 minutes. I really, maybe it's just me. I really don't like when people have these long winded master classes, uh, webinars, whatever you want to call them, and they spend 90 minutes to not tell you anything. So I'm going to spend 20 minutes to tell you everything I can as far as what I learned about hearing yes more often. So you could take them and put them into practice in your life and your business. That's the goal. It's that simple. So let's see here. Share slides. Do, do, do. And open file. Okay. And plus, I don't know what my charger is, and it says I have 25 minutes left. Let's rock and roll. New Skills, New You, the number one sales and leadership resource for entrepreneurs and small businesses. Do you want to hear yes more often? I feel like that's a rhetorical question, but it's an important one. If you are happy with how often you hear yes, whether it's from job applications, if it's from potential clients, if you're good, hey, no hard feelings. Maybe, shoot me an email, give me some tips. But for the rest of us, we want to hear yes more often, and there's some things that get in the way. So what's getting in your way? What are some things that stop you from hearing yes? Uh, well, Bruce, people tell me no. Fair. We're going to talk about that. Um, I'm afraid of rejection. That's a tough one. Human beings love to belong. We want to fit in as much as we don't like to admit it. We have to have some identity, even if it isn't the majority. We have to have some identity. Where we fit in, we avoid rejection. We don't want to be pushy. I know some really beautiful people, and they're like, Bruce, people want to buy from me, they will. Sometimes. But what about the rest of the time? Ooh, don't know what to say. Yes, we're going to talk about that. We'll fix that by the end of this presentation. I promise we'll fix that for you. So let's see here. Shout out to my introverts. Introverts, I think I did a little video on YouTube why introverts make the best salespeople and the best speakers, and most billionaires are introverts. That's the message. So if you're an entrepreneur, a career professional, or you're running a small business, I say small. I think the Small Business Association categorizes anyone less than $4 million a year as a small business. So I'm talking to you. I want you to hear yes more often. That's the goal. That's the very simple mission for this. And we're going to have simple and actionable steps and not a lot of fluff, not a bunch of random stories about my childhood. I just want you to hear yes more often. That's pretty straightforward? And this is important. We're not going to give you any psychological tricks, manipulation, or deception. It's got to be the authentic version of you, just the one that hears yes more often. So, how are we going to make this successful? If we can increase your confidence, as a result, increase your revenue, then that'll be a successful webinar. Now, who am I? As Bruce Hill's New Skills, New You. Who cares? You didn't come here so you can hear my life story. You came here because you're intrigued. You're like, what would my life look like if I heard yes more often? What would that do to my business if I heard yes more often? So here we go. I want you to understand when people make decisions for two reasons. When we talk about hearing yes, we understand that people make decisions to either avoid pain or seeking pleasure. They want to be happy, or they want life to be easier. They want to get the results faster, or they want to avoid pain, problems, stress. And if we understand that, we connect what we have to offer to either or both. You're going to hear yes more often. All right. So that's really like the fundamental concept behind all of this. It's not, and here's a beautiful thing. If you want to hear yes more often, instead of trying to convince them what you have to offer is something they should say yes to, Show them how what you are offering them, or you're asking them to do, removes their pain, or at least reduces it, and increases their pleasure, right? Their happiness, the ease of their life. If you can do that, they're gonna say yes. You'll hear yes more often. It's so simple, but I'm gonna say it over and over and over again because a lot of times, and this is actually why I started New Skills, New You, people have great ideas and they can't figure out how to get people to buy into those ideas. They have some amazing transformations that they offer. They have so much value to give, but people aren't telling them yes. So fast forward 6 months, fast forward a year, they're like, oh, maybe entrepreneurship really isn't for me. Maybe that was a bad business idea. Well, maybe, but a bigger likelihood is that they just didn't get enough people to tell them yes. So, number one thing you can do to hear yes more often is to ask more people. Sometimes we'll ask our mom, or ask her dad, or ask her brother, ask her sister, ask her cousin. They're like, no, that's stupid. And we're like, ah, yeah, you're probably right. And we give up. But here's the thing, if you're offering, let's say you're offering plus size clothing, right? Hey, I'm going to have stylish clothing for people that are, you know, a 50-inch waist. Maybe they're tall, extra large shoes. But your family are all petite, then of course they can't tell you yes. You're asking, well, we're getting ahead of myself, but you're asking the wrong people. You didn't ask enough people to figure out that, hey, somebody wants and needs this. I think the biggest thing I could share with you is the time I was asked to be a sales trainer. They're like, Bruce, and of course they didn't pay me for this. That's another lesson for another day. So they said, Bruce, this guy needs help selling more cars. Can you help him? All right. I'm not a sales manager. I'm doing all right. So I'll help him out. So I said, hey, buddy, what do you need help with? He said, I don't know. I said, well, where are you struggling? He said, I don't know. I said, well, what are your areas of opportunity? He said, I don't know. Okay, fine. So go do your thing. I'll observe you. And at the end of the week, I'll give you some feedback. So I watch him. He's phenomenal. Talks to someone, they go on a test drive, boom, sells a car. He talks to someone, they go on a test drive, boom, sells a car. Talks to someone, they go on a test drive, boom, sells a car. I was like, this guy's great. What's going on? He talked to 10 people, went on 3 test drives, sold 3 cars. Boom. So I look at my numbers. I go on 10 test drives, I sell 1 car. Okay. 10 test drives, 3 cars. And then Bruce goes on 10 test drives, sells 1 car. Who sold more cars? Well, that's easy. You don't have to be a mathematician. He was selling more cars. So wait, why am I training this guy? So I went and paid attention. I kept watching. And what happened was the next week, right? He sold his three cars. The next week, I didn't see him. Looking around, break room, front room, customer service area, nowhere. Couldn't find him. I said, well, look, it ain't my job to find him. I'm gonna keep selling cars. So I keep selling cars, keep selling cars, keep selling cars. End of the month rolls around. He had still talked to 10 people and sold 3 cars. I had talked to 100 people and I sold 10 cars. What I realized was, even though he was a better salesperson than I was at the time, I just talked to more people. I asked more people. I gave more people the opportunity to tell me yes. It's so simple, but don't miss it. Sometimes easy to do is easy not to do. The next thing is ask more often. One of my favorite things for people to tell me is, "Oh, I was just thinking about calling you. I'm glad you reached out. I couldn't find your number. I lost your card. I couldn't remember your website. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go." Now, I'm not telling you to ask someone every single day of the week. Right? Your friend's birthday's in September. So one of my best friend's birthdays in September. It would not make sense for me to call her on the first and be like, hey, is your birthday today? And she'd be like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, hang up. And then I call her on the second, hey, is your birthday today? No, still not today. I'm like, oh, my bad. So I hang up. You can't do that every day until you hit her birthday. Now, hypothetically, if they didn't block you, you would hit their birthday. It is in September. So when I say more often, I want you to give yourself chance for the right timing. So that could mean weekly. monthly, depending on your product or service. I really don't recommend anything more than monthly. But sometimes it's a payroll. Hey, I get paid next week. Sometimes it's a need. Perfect example. I was talking to someone who sold life insurance, and the service we were offering him, he didn't need. It was a trained virtual assistant. But fast forward, he got a huge partnership, over 400 new leads, plus a webinar in front of a platform of several hundred people. He's like, I need help. So if I hadn't asked more often, I wouldn't have known that. And he's so busy and flustered that he didn't think to call me. I had to call him. If they have a problem, they're not going to be upset that you call them. Okay. So put that out of your mind. I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to bother them. They want to hear from you. They have pain they want removed. They're going to tell you yes. Okay. So figure out when their birthday is. That means when is the right time for them to work with you? All right. We got to rock and roll. My battery's dying. Said this earlier. Ask the right people. If you're selling, oh, no, I've got a better one for you. Do you have your checkbook? Let's go back to selling cars. Uh, three people walked in. There's two men and one woman. And this is a gender bias, but that's not what this is about. All the other sales rep went and talked to the men. Eh, well, this isn't a diversity, equity, inclusion training. So I said, all right, well, I'll go talk to this young lady and see what she needs help with. I said, hey, Bruce, how can I make the most of your visit today? She said, oh, I want to buy two cars. And so apparently she was a whole boss and she ran a multi-million dollar business and her brothers were just there to drive the cars back. They weren't buying nothing. And so I helped her out and she bought two cars and we sent her home and it was a great day. Uh-huh. You're right. I had some champagne at the end of the week. You got to talk to the person with the checkbook. Another story I like to tell in this scenario, if you're watching this on YouTube, so you can see I have very short hair. I haven't cut my hair in about 8 years. It would not make sense for you to sell me razors. Now, my best friend, shout out to my buddy Aaron, poor guy's been bald for a few years. It looks good on him, right? It wouldn't make sense to sell him shampoo. Okay. Does that make it a bad product? No, it just makes it the wrong person. The third way you can hear yes more often is to ask the right people. Ask people that can tell you yes. If you're a notary, shout out to my notaries. We do a notary challenge. And I need a vanity link for that one. Go to send me a message, New Skills New You on Instagram, New Skills New You on Instagram. Just say you're a notary. I'll get you the link. If you're a notary, I don't want you going in the Subway restaurants asking if they have documents that need to be notarized. Say, hey, you guys got an assignment for me. It doesn't make sense. They're sandwich artists, not lawyers. Go talk to lawyers, go talk to realtors, talk to the right people. People that can tell you yes, people that have the checkbook. Okay, rocking and rolling. Ask better questions. Do you want to work with me is a stupid question. Oh, that's not very nice, Bruce. There's no stupid questions. Yes, it is. I don't know you. I don't know the problem you solve. I don't know the value you add. I don't want to work with you. I don't know who you are. If I say, hey, I'm Bruce Hill, New Skills New You, I help speakers, coaches, and consultants hear yes more often without sounding salesy. Would you like to work with me? That's a much better question. A little long winded, but we'll circle back to that. They'll say, well, hold on. I'm not a speaker, I'm not a coach, but I am a consultant, and I do want to hear yes more often, and I don't want to sound salesy. That's adding value, removing pain. All right, Bruce, let's talk. What you got for me? I'm like, hey, I'm glad you asked. Let me ask some questions about your business, see where I can support you. Boom, easy. No sales script, no manipulation, no trickery, no psychology, just sincerely adding value. Sales is service. When you look at sales as giving them something versus taking, man, listen, more people will tell you yes more often and you'll feel good about it. So, better questions equals better clients. Oh man, this is huge. Better questions, better clients. When you ask the right questions, you get better answers. At better questions, you get better answers. Better answers, better clients. So you're not working with people that don't need your help. They end up frustrated for the time spent, the money spent. They end up chargebacks. They don't refer you. It's a lose lose scenario. But one of my favorite stories, I said, hey, everyone needs sales training. One new skill will change your life. She's like, no, I don't need sales. I said, hey, sales is such a great skill that impacts every area in your life and business. She's like, I don't need sales. I said, well, what can I help you with? What prompted you to schedule this call? That was a better question. She said, oh, I heard you speaking. I was hoping you could give me some speaking tips. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll be happy to help you. I've been speaking for almost 20 years now. Goodness gracious. She booked 4 hours. Better questions, better clients. And she was a great referral source. All right, rocking and rolling. Speaking of which, as for the referral, listen, some of my best referrals came from people that never even paid me a dollar. Now, especially if they've worked with you and they give you a great review. Hey, I saw you left me a 5-star review. Do you know two more people like you that can need help? Something simple, something easy. And I feel like I messed that up. But I want to keep it so simple that it's easy to do. I got to keep rocking and rolling. Long hair don't care. Mm. So let's go back to my buddy Aaron. If you say, hey, Aaron, you want some shampoo? He say, no. You being funny right now? I don't have any hair in my head. He's going to see this and cuss me. He's going to say, no, you don't see any hair on my head. Leave me alone about that shampoo. Whoa, 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 wait. Mr. Aaron, sir, do you know someone that would love this all natural, hemp based, whatever, sulfate free shampoo? And he'd be like, well, actually, my buddy Bruce got a lot of hair. My buddy JJ's got a lot of hair. 2 referrals from one person who didn't pay you. So when people tell you no, haha, I told you we'd get to it. People tell you no, they're not telling you no. They're very likely just saying, no, I don't need the product or service that you're offering. Don't take it personally. 19 times out of 20, it's not about you. So I don't want you to take it home with you and cry about it. Just say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for being honest. Who do you know that does need and want this? Asking for the referral. And the brilliant thing is, referrals close higher than any other medium, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, email, anything. Referrals close the highest. So ask for the referrals. In fact, once we get off this webinar, masterclass, whatever you want to call it, go email your list. Bruce is late. All right, fine. Schedule it for tomorrow morning, but write it tonight. Say, hey, thank you for the opportunity to serve. We are seeking referrals. Would you send this to 2 people who could benefit from problem you solve, right? So for me, I say, hey, thank you for working with you. It's Bruce, new skills, new you. Would you send this to 2 people you know that could benefit from support in the area of sales and leadership? Easy. Said it before, I said it again. Easy to do is easy not to do. Simple isn't always easy. But I want to make this so simple that everyone can get it and put it to practice right away. So I gotta ask what do I ask? That's a good question. Open questions used to discover the problem. Bruce, what are better questions? I actually am not going to take the time to dive into that now. I teach a whole workshop on this. So if you're a speaker, you're a coach or consultant, I'd love to work with you on a set of questions to help you hear yes more often from the right client. What do I say when they say no? Oh man, this is beautiful. Ask for the referral, but I also I'm starting to put this all together so that it's all in one place and not bits and pieces. There is a way to address it when people say no. Sometimes we have to figure out, first of all, is it the right person? If they are the right person, do they have a problem I can solve? If they do have a problem, then there's something we're missing. There's some reason they haven't told us yes yet. And I'll teach you how to discover that. I'm glad you asked. Shout out to Tiara Bryant. She put together this slide deck for me, even though she calls them PowerPoints. But that's fine. We'll forgive her for that. She's actually joining in the next 10-week accelerator because I want to, yes, it's high level. Yes, I said I keep it under 20 minutes. Looks like I got 60 seconds left. Man, I'm good. But I can't help you transform your life and business in 20 minutes. I'm good, but I'm not that good. So what I did was the sales success system is going to help you come up with that question set. What are better questions? Talking about value versus cost, and a value statement helps identify very clearly the problem you solve and the value you add. What to say when they say no. We'll put together a sales system so you can delegate it. So I don't want you to be a salesperson. I don't want you to be a killer closer or the master manipulator. I just want you to be the authentic version of yourself that hears yes more often. So the goal for the sales success system is for you to spend more time serving your clients and less time selling. We'll teach you how to automate and delegate that so you can grow as a business, not just as